So Lamech, you see, is important because he's the father of Noah. And Noah is important because he's the person who is going to save mankind a second time, if you like, or a first time, depending on how you reckon it. And he's going to be a consolation for the ground that Yahweh cursed. Now notice we seem to be back into the Yahweh line here in line 30. Even though it also seems part of the Elohist priestly line. Because we're still in the situation of big numbers, 777 years. Notice, how do you like that one? Lamech lives for 777 years. Does that ring a bell? What's the bell?
Magic number 7.
No, Yahweh's song previously said, 7 times vengeance will be taken for Cain, 7 times 7, or what did he say, 77? 7 times 7 for Lamech. So now this guy's got Lamech living 777 years. It's just that the numbers are part of the tradition, and he's just using them differently than the other guy. Because we have the 7s, of course 7 is an important number in past, but the fact that is why he chose 777 years, well, because of the 777 of the previous Mitzvah. I think this shows to some extent that the Yahwist may be earlier. Because here it looks like the priestly or whatever is working off it. For instance, he knows the Adam and Eve story. A consolation derived from the ground that Yahweh had cursed. Well, Yahweh didn't curse any ground in the previous priestly material. Maybe some material left out of the priestly here. Who knows? In any case, when Noah was 500 years old, still showing off his knowledge of figures and precision, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Wow, man alive. What, he had triplets? And didn't he have a wife running around someplace? In any case, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, 6:1. Change gears. Change gears. So, we are back in 6:1. I think you'll see in the Yahwist narrative. 5:30s there is unclear, but pretty much still priestly, Elohist. But 6:1, when man had gone to be plentiful on the earth, and daughters have been born to them, the sons of God, again another fantastic situation that only the Yahwist would envision, looking at the daughters of men, saw they were pleased, and they married as many as they chose. And Yahweh said, my spirit must not forever be disgraced in man. Now there is Yahweh now again, not God. For his flesh, he is but flesh, his life shall be no more than 120 years. So now Yahweh's narrative intervenes, and it does look like the two are somewhat related here, more than scholars would admit, and this is interesting to check on. In any case, the Nephilim, or the giants, were on the earth at that time. Hebrew Nephilim. What do you have, giants in your thing, or Nephilim? Nephilim. Nephilim is a Hebrew word meaning, well, it means now, superhuman beings. Titans, maybe. We're on the earth, and this looks like a little reflection of the old Greek sort of God and human legend narratives. And the sons of God had intercourse with the daughters of men and had children by them. Well, those are what the Greeks always wrote about, gods having intercourse with human maidens, right? And all the big heroes of the Greeks came out of that. Well, so a little bit of that is fluted into this. These are the heroes of days gone by, the illustrious or famous or well-known men. Again, the Yahwist doesn't tell us a lot, but it tells us more than the Elohist or the priestly person tells us. At least he's got some information about the ancient time. There were some problems back then, and we had some superhuman beings screwing around, pardon me for being crude, with human maidens. And this resulted in a race before us that were, maybe they were Neanderthals, I don't know what we would want to call them. Giants or Nephilim. And they were the product of this situation. But they're also heroic too. It's not all evil. Now in the later period, this is considered why the earth was corrupt. And again, the flood is going to come now as a result of that. But it's, the people in later generations said it was because of this fornication, if you want, of these super creatures with human women that God sent the flood. But here the Yahweh just says, line 5, 6, 5. Yahweh saw the wickedness of man was great on the earth, and all he thought about was evil or wickedness all the time. So he regretted having fashioned man. This goes back to the Adam and Eve story of creation. And he was grievous in heart, or he grieved. I am going to rid the earth's face of my own creation. Yahweh said he talks like in the Adam and Eve and Cain story. He's not abstract like in the priestly. So he said of the animals, also reptiles, birds of heaven, I regret having made them. Everybody, I'm going to get rid of them all. But Noah, he liked. Noah found favor. And fragment. This is the story of Noah. Have we heard that before? Yeah, twice before. These are the generations of earth when they were created. These are the descendants of Seth. This is the story of Noah. What have we done? Swung back to the priesthood. So up to 6:8, 6:7, 8, we're in the Yahwist, 1 to 8. 6:9, back to the Elohist priesthood. Noah was a good man, a man of integrity. Now we're telling stories in this line, not just abstract materials. Among his contemporaries, he walked with God. Here it's Noah walking with God, not Enoch, by the way. Noah became the father of 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Where do we have that before? Oh, line 532. When Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Something's repeating somewhere here. Noah became the father of 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth grew corrupt in God's sight and filled with violence. God contemplated the earth. It was corrupt, for corrupt were the ways of all flesh on earth. And notice it's God that's being used in the narrative. Therefore, scholars call this Elohist priesthood. God said to Noah, the end has come to all